Maybe now you're planning to start your own business, but you don't know what first step to take. Well, the first step in starting your own business is to plan the enterprise. And that's where the business plan comes in. Every entrepreneur who plans to enter any business endeavor must have a business plan on hand to guide them throughout the process. Business plans are written for different purposes. Some business plans are written prior to the setting up of an enterprise, which are similar to a pre-feasibility study and a feasibility study. There are also business plans that are written during the first few years of the enterprise in order to guide the entrepreneur on which strategies would be most beneficial for the enterprise to take. There are also business plans that are focused on bringing the enterprise to a higher level of growth. So now you have a plan, but how are you supposed to write it down? There are many formats in writing a business plan, but for you students, we're going to use a simpler version. The business plan that you are going to create should be comprised of the introduction, which includes the business model and the business goals. Next would be the executive summary, and then followed by the stakeholders. Then you're going to write about the product or the service itself. Next would be the target market, and last would be the financial report and forecasts. Each of these will be discussed later in the video. So the first part would be the introduction. You should include here the motivation and the reason for starting this business. Also included in the introduction is the business model. So it has four areas of money making which it must address. The first question would be, how will the business raise revenues? What will be the costs of the enterprise products and the other costs of doing business? What will be the major investments of the enterprise? And how will the enterprise finance the investments? Also part of the introduction are the business goals. So this should show the future and the long-term prospects of the enterprise. It should also include the vision and the mission of the business. And most importantly, the objectives of the business. The next part would be the executive summary. It contains everything that is relevant and important to the business audience. It is the synthesis of the entire plan, and it should discuss why the business will work and succeed. The executive summary should also introduce and highlight the good qualities of the business proponents and their partners, the enterprise organization and its capabilities, the technology providers and their expertise and experience, and last but not the least, the suppliers and all the major service providers of the business. It should also describe the products and services of the enterprise, their features and attributes, and why they are the right ones to deliver to the customers. The last part of the executive summary should also contain the capital structure and the financial forecasts of the business. After the executive summary, your business plan should then proceed to discuss the stakeholders of the business. If the business plan readers are the resource providers, then they will want to know who else are on board to share the burden of raising money to see the whole thing through. If the business plan readers are the technology providers, they will want to know if there will be sufficient funds to pay for the technology. If the business plan readers are the governance and top management team, they will want to know what strategies and performance indicators are being proposed. If the business plan readers are the implementing, operating, and support teams, they will want to know what programs, activities, tasks, and resources would be in place. The business plan should also contain a section that explains the product or service itself. So you should explain in detail the product or service, the procedure for creating the product, or how the service works, and your product or services competitive edge. So now you have your product. So the next part would be the target market. The target market must be of sufficient size, sufficient paying capacity, and of sufficient interest to purchase the products. These will be your customers. The final part of your business plan will be the financial report and forecasts. So you should explain in detail all the expenses that you incurred and all the expected return on sales. And that's it for this lesson. Goodbye and have a good day.